Igbos have been marginalized. Igbos have been
The same Malami who refused to prosecute the terrorist sponsors in Nigeria that were discovered by the UAE is the same Malami who accused Nnamdi Kanu to be the one instigating unknown gunmen to buy security agents and gulag. Now, see what is happening in the country. Just 2 days ago, the Nigerian military released a video in response of the attack that Boko Haram inflicted on the Nigerian military. He was asking Boko Haram fighters to come surrender so that they will get pardon. And look at this headline. It's saying Nigerian Airforce asks bandits, other criminals to surrender. They are begging those who have bought Nigeria or who have bought Nigerians to come surrender. But Nnamdi Kanu is the one to be prosecuted. So guys, you must have seen for yourself that the hatred for the Igbos can no longer be hidden. You know, it is very clear. Anyway, let me allow you to take a look at this conversation around Nnamdi Kanu's trial and some of the updates you need to know about. Take a look.
Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. The trial has been ongoing for several years, with recent developments highlighting the complexities and controversies surrounding this case. The prosecution has presented various evidences against Kanu, including recordings and witness testimonies. A prosecution witness, codenamed BBB, testified against Nnamdi Kanu, highlighting his alleged involvement in terrorist activities. The witness referenced a petition by the former Attorney General Abubakar Malamo accusing Kanu of inciting violence against the Nigerian security agencies. The court also admitted videos and audio recordings of Kanu's broadcast where he allegedly called for attacks on security personnel and government facilities, encouraged the killing of police officers and soldiers, advocated for the destruction of public properties, and declared a sit-at-home in the southeast region of Nigeria. With evidence of Kanu being an accomplice in cases of allegedly calling for attacks not just on security personnel or government facilities, but also on prominent individuals, including the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, it was said that Kanu had allegedly placed a 100 million naira bounty on Wike's head, encouraging his followers to take action. So recently, the trial was adjourned to May 8, 2025 for continuation of hearing, and some prominent Nigerians, including Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Chukwuma Machuku Ume, have called for a political solution to Kanu's case, citing the need for national healing and unity. On their part, Kanu's legal team has also accused the federal government and judiciary of deliberately delaying his trial, citing the lack of progress since the judge recused herself from the case in the year 2024, September to be precise. And the case of Nnamdi Kanu bears some similarities to that of Odumegu Ojukwu, who led the Biafra Civil War in the late 1960s. Both leaders have been at the forefront of struggles for secession or regional autonomy, highlighting the complexity of Nigeria's federal structure and the ongoing quest for self-determination and resource control in various regions. So this afternoon on People's Voice, as we continue to follow up with this story, I have with me in the studio Mr. Peter Anosike, VOP's in-house senior analyst, who will share his insights on the implications of Kanu's trials and the IPOB movement on the Igbo community and Nigeria at large. Good afternoon, Mr. Anosike, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get straight to the conversations. Mr. Anosike, considering the alleged crimes linked to the IPOB's activities, do you think that Nnamdi Kanu's agitation has brought more harm than benefits to the Igbo region, and particularly in the light of the sit-at-home orders and the economic instability?
Well, for me, nothing good comes easy. There must be battle before victory.
Okay.
And I know that when Nnamdi Kanu started on this journey, he didn't expect it to be an overnight success. Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. So nothing good comes easy. There must be pain before healing.
So for you, do you think that the agitation has done more harm than good, or whatever the experience is right now in the Southeast is part of the pain that has to come before the gain?
There must be pain before gain. Why Nnamdi Kanu is agitating is because Nigeria is not working. That is the only reason. If Nigeria begin to work today, all these agitations by Nnamdi Kanu, by Sunday Igbo and others will die down. So why it is gaining traction, why it is gaining followership, is because what Nnamdi Kanu has been talking over the years is happening. Igbos are being marginalized. Igbos are being discriminated against. Do you know that in JAMB, the cutoff mark is 200? Understand me? But some people somewhere get admission with 120 in the same country.
But if you say that his agitations are because Nigeria is not working, the case of Nnamdi Kanu, for some people, bears some similarities with that of Odumegwu Ojukwu, who led the Biafra Civil War in the late 1960s. Are you saying that Nigeria has not been working since independence, or is there a particular reason why you concluded that?
Those who are giving these similarities, I know that they have a good sense of history, because Ojukwu was forced to declare war on Nigeria. Understand? Because why? Igbos were being massacred in the north. And there's no way, as a leader of your people, as a military governor of your people, every day 100 dead bodies are arriving, 200 dead bodies are arriving, and you fold your hands. Okay,
so for you, so Ojukwu's case was because Igbos were being massacred up north?
Ojukwu has every reason to declare that war. The war is justified. The call for self-determination that Nnamdi Kanu is also doing is justified. So I am 100% in support of Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay, so whatever happens from the leadership of both the late 1960 war and the IPOB case right now is because Nigeria failed the Southeast?
Nothing has. There's no federal presence in the Southeast.
So what do you make of the Southeastern governors and representatives that have stood identifying with the government at the federal level?
They ought to be, because there can never be two sovereignties in a nation. Understand me? What is happening in Nigeria is happening in other parts of the world. Even in Spain, as civilized as Spain is, self-agitation is going on in Spain. This Brexit is part of self-determination, because Britain felt that they are being shortchanged by Europe. So what Nnamdi Kanu is doing is what other people are doing. Even if Nnamdi Kanu is not doing it, or another person will have done it.
But I want you to link it to the presence of government in that region, because you have said that there's no federal presence in that region. But constantly we've seen governors, we've seen senators, we've seen members of the House of Representatives emerge from that region and have identified with the federal power. So are you saying that they are representing the people, but they do not speak the mind of the people?
They are representing themselves in the National Assembly. Igbos are being marginalized. Igbos are being discriminated against. Igbos are hated by the Nigerian state. An instance, Southeast is the only state with is the only geopolitical zone with 5 states. What does that tell you? Why others have 18 senators? Even Northwest, 21 senators, we only have 15. So in every ramification, Igbos are being cheated. Igbos are being cheated. So that's why Nnamdi Kanu is calling for self-determination.
Okay. How do you then respond to critics who have argued that the agitation spearheaded by Kanu and IPOB has led to the loss of lives, destruction of properties, economic hardship for the very people who are supposed to benefit from the agitation? Because if you get to wake up to even beat your own sisters, brothers, mothers in the name of forcing them to sit at home, who are you then fighting?
Sit at home is a part of protest. Understand me? Even sit at home is the best form of protest. Because when you are sitting at home, you are not causing insecurity, you are not blocking the road, and so on and so forth. So sit at home is one of the best form of protest anywhere in the world.
But people have been punished for not sitting at home.
People are being punished, you understand me? People are being punished. That's why I say there must be battle before victory. So, but assuming that Nigeria is working, Nnamdi Kanu would not be having people following him. Understand me? And he would not have been doing this. So it is Nigerian state that forced Nnamdi Kanu into this.
The Nigerian state has forced Nnamdi Kanu into this. But
yes. Because they have failed to practice live and let live.
If this is the situation, then it still questions your opinion on the position of people that are elected in office in that same region. Because there should be voices that should be speaking for the same purpose. And if governance is being felt across states, across other constituencies, then what exactly what can be done to actually prove that the people of the Southeast are standing together and demanding for something? Because it feels like there is a gap. It feels like everybody is not in total tune with this agitation. Even in Spain, everybody is not in tune. So if I'm not in tune, why should I suffer because I'm not agreeing with you?
In Brexit, you know how Brexit ended.
Right.
A lot of people are not in support of exiting from Europe. So that's how it is everywhere in the world. And for those who are representing us in Abuja, unquote, representing us, understand, they have compromised. They don't feel what the Southeasterners are feeling.
So even the deputy speaker that is from your region has been compromised?
It's a standout. Hope Uzodinma governs Imo from Abuja.
So
Hope Uzodinma governs Imo from Abuja.
So everybody that doesn't agree with Nnamdi Kanu's ideologies are sold out?
Well, if they are needed enough, because a lot of people works with ignorance. So many of them who understand the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is agitating should side with him.
Okay, let's talk about the tendering of Ahmed Golak's death certificate, which has raised questions about IPOB's activities. How do you think the Igbo community can distance themselves from such actions?
So, for me, it is a joke.
What part
Very
of it
big
is a joke?
That's what is called in law going fishing. So the DSS are going fishing for evidence to incriminate Nnamdi Kanu.
But did that incident happen?
Did
the incident happen?
It happened.
So how are they now fishing for evidences?
Gundak was murdered.
Okay.
Understand me? He was murdered. Those that murdered him, have they gone into IPOB register and see their names there?
But it was said that there was a declaration of a sit at home.
Excuse me, those that were murdered, have they gone into IPOB membership card?
Is there any ordinary citizens that will have so much guts to come out when such orders were out there to attack someone as prominent as the former aide to the president of the federation?
Do you know how Gunda came to Owerri?
Tell us about it.
He disguised himself. The Gundak that we know is a flamboyant person. But on the day he was murdered, he used cap to cover his head because he did not want people to recognize him.
Well, was it a crime to cover himself? Was it a crime for him to use a cap? Can he not just choose to appear whichever way he chooses? Is there a strict rule as to how anybody should appear because of who they are?
Did you follow what brought Gundak to Owerri?
You were telling us about it, and you just talked about how flamboyant he was and the fact that he had to use a cap to cover his face and he had to disguise. Is there any justification for the killing of any citizen, regardless of who they are or whatever position they were in?
People are being killed everywhere in the world, everywhere in the country. There are criminal elements everywhere in the world. There are kidnappers, there are armed robbers. Understand me? He could have been anybody. Understand? Chike Akunyindi, the husband of the Dora Akunyindi, was killed. Understand me? He could have also been anybody.
Let's talk. Let's dwell on this Ahmed Gulak.
Ahmed Gulak sneaked into Owerri and wanted to sneak back.
So I'm saying, was it a crime?
And those that everybody that is killed in Southeast becomes that IPOB is killed him. Is that?
There were tensions at the time.
So everybody.
There were inciting words out there.
Inciting words.
Yeah, there were inciting words out there. There was the part of the IPOBs even harassing market women that their own sisters and brothers because they did not do the bidding of what was said.
We are talking of Ahmed Gulak.
Exactly. So you are saying that there have been killings and okay, since you have the information of what brought him to Owerri and why that is a justification for his killing, tell us about it.
Mind you, the APC primary held the same day but in 2 different areas.
So how does that connect with the death of Ahmed Gulak?
Okay, history is important.
Yeah.
The faction that produced Hope Uzodinma was conducted by Ahmed Gulak. Are you aware of that?
I'm listening to you.
Then the other faction that produced Rochas Okrocha in-law.
The son-in-law.
Yes, was conducted by another person. Understand? So after that, Gulak left, and we know the one that INEC supervised, not that of Hope Uzodinma.
So coming to conduct or monitor that election. How is it for the primaries? Yeah, it was an election. It was a primary election. So how is that a justification for how he came into the state? How he decided to exit and kill him?
After that, he went back to Abuja. He's from Adamawa State. So later, he sneaked into Owerri unannounced. Disguised himself using a cap to cover himself, wearing a tracksuit. Gulak of all people.
You've not actually responded to how his dressing was a crime.
I said,
when you constantly say of all people, I don't understand.
He disguised himself.
Okay, so it could have been anybody. Is there any justification for anybody to have been killed because there was an order?
My concern, why should Nnamdi Kanu be linked with his mother? Understand me? There's no link at all. Understand me? Nnamdi Kanu was not in Owerri.
Because they said that his broadcast has actually cited incited the people.
I listened to Nnamdi Kanu speeches. How many people have I killed?
Are you a member of the IPOB?
I listened to.
No, are you a registered member of the IPOB? Are you one of? At least we saw videos of those that went about the streets chanting that, oh, we are going after this. Did you join that movement?
I say.
No, if you listen, anybody could have listened. There are leaks of his audios online that I was privileged to listen to, but I'm not one of them. So I'm saying.
I have said it. That's here. Let those who felt that Nnamdi Kanu's speeches made them to carry gun and go and kill people, go to that court and say, yes, what Nnamdi Kanu said on air made me to carry gun and go and start killing people.
They are the same people that have stood on the mandate saying that whenever he had to appear in court, they were going to honor him and they have to do some things in honor of what he stood for. But let me move to the next question. Let's talk about the narrative that the agitation is a continuation of the ideals of Odumegwu Ojukwu's Biafra dream. Do you think this narrative holds water?
It's a struggle for survival. It's a struggle for survival. That's what Igbos have been doing since 1966 till date.
So is it about the Igbos feeling like they are not part of this country, or the country is not fair enough to the region?
The country have never been fair to us.
But the same region is the region that boasts of being the highest billionaires in terms of successes when it comes to businesses. Self-made. Can anybody be made in a troubled? Can anybody be made under a troubled situation?
Wolo Soyinka said that an Igbo man can squeeze out milk from rock.
That is because he is a Nigerian, and I will commend you for being an amazing person, regardless of what I think.
Understand me? Wolo Soyinka said that an Igbo man can squeeze milk from rock, and that's what we are doing. That we are millionaires and billionaires is self-effort. It's self-effort. Government has nothing to that.
So you don't register businesses, you don't get anything, you don't have anything to do with government, there are no taxes, there are no waivers, there are no enabling environment for businesses. You people just squeeze money out of the rock and make money from it.
Nigeria state hate us.
All right. Given the evidences presented in Kanu's trial so far, do you think it is fair to say that the agitation has been hijacked by individuals or groups with ulterior motives, or is there any situation where people are potentially harming the Igbo community in the process?
I say there are criminal elements everywhere. There's no doubt that some criminals are hiding under IPOB to be committing atrocities. Understand me? There's no doubt that some criminals are hiding under IPOB and be committing atrocities. It happens everywhere in the world. But we know that original IPOB members are not violent. Understand me? So that's why I say those people, that the government that say it is IPOB members that killed Gunak. Let them go and bring the register of IPOB and check if their names are there.
Okay.
Let them go to the house and check if they have a membership card or identity card of IPOB. For me, there will be cross-examination.
What do you say?
It doesn't hold water.
What do you say to some of the evidences of Kanu being an accomplice in cases of alleged called for attacks on not just security personnel and government facilities, but also on prominent individuals? The case of placing a 100 million bounty on Wike's head, is it true?
Do you know what Wike did?
Is it true?
Do you know what Wike did?
Is it true? I need a yes or no. Is it true?
Do you know what Wike did?
Mr. Anosike, did
you know how many Igbo people?
Did that happen?
Do you know how many
yes
Igbo people that
no?
left on Wike killed in River State?
Justifiable that you've said that. Yes or no, did that happen?
Do you know how many Igbo people that Wike killed in River State?
You should have gone to court to prove that. But did that happen? Was there a 100 million bounty on Wike's head? Was there a 100 million bounty on Wike's head at any point?
I don't know about that.
All right, interesting how this conversation.
But only a vagabond.
Because if you continue,
only a foolish Igbo man will be happy with Nyesom Wike.
Okay,
because
but for
I'm not happy.
For statements like
I'm not happy with him.
For statements like Senior Advocate of Nigeria Chukwuma Machukwume that have called for political solution to Kanu's case, do you think that they are not smart or intelligent enough, citing the need for national healing and unity? Some people have taken accountability that whatever has happened, let us come together and talk about it. Do you think that they are not Igbo enough?
After the end of the Civil War, Gowon came up with Terrör, reconstruction, rehabilitation, understand me, and reconciliation of Igbos back to Nigeria.
Okay.
That is the Terrör. Understand? That from that 1970 up to today, they have not done that. They have not accepted Igbo people back to the country.
But for those seeking political solution, asking for national healing, are they not Igbo enough? Are you angrier than they are?
Well, some people are fake Igbos. If you are not feeling what the Igbo man is feeling, understand me? Just I consider Benjamin Kanu that's a fake Igbo man.
The SAN that I just mentioned to, is he a fake Igbo man?
I don't know him. So if you are not feeling the pains of an Igbo people, you are not a true Igbo man. Because we know what we are going through in this country. Since 1970 to today, Igbos have never been reconciled back to the country.
But you live in Nigeria, you're looking good, like a good Nigerian that you are.
I'm surviving on my own. This is self-effort.
Do you live in Nigeria?
This is self-effort.
Do you live in Nigeria?
I buy fuel.
Do you live in Nigeria? Are you a Nigerian?
Nigeria,
Nigeria
is a geographical
this
space.
is a yes or no.
Nigeria is
this is a yes or no
space.
question. And I don't even like the fact that you're trying to be
Nigeria
funny
is
with
a
this
geographical
question.
space.
Do you live in Nigeria? Yes.
I live in a geographical space which Nodnuga's wife say it is a Niger area.
Okay, understandable, but how can the Igbo community reconcile the desire for self-determination with the need for peaceful coexistence and economic development, especially in the light of the challenges currently posed by the Airforce activities?
Igbos are developers. Understand me? Igbos are developers. Anywhere they go, their talents bring them out. They are always partners in progress. They're always partners in development.
Nigerians are always shining the light wherever they find themselves.
I don't know of Nigerians. I'm talking of the Igbos. Understand me? Go to Okota area, go to Ajao area. They were what? It's water knocked everywhere, swamps everywhere. It is Igbos that filled it and build mansions there. That's what they do in every part of the country.
So how much of this work have they been able to imitate in the southeast?
Go down to the south.
No, you didn't send me to Okota. You only mentioned what was done in Okota. So I'm just asking, how much of these works have been replicated in the southeast?
My village is more developed than the capital of some states in the country.
Okay.
And it is through self-effort.
Self-effort without the government.
Without government.
It's just people building the states.
Through self-effort. Because we have that can-do spirit.
Yeah, we appreciate the can-do spirit, but I'm talking about peace. You've not responded to that question, because we really want to know how the community can reconcile the desire for self-determination with the need for peaceful coexistence. You cannot continue to have a problem with the Nigerian state and cohabit if different regions in Nigeria saying that you build it fine, but at least you are not limited to your regions alone. So whatever opportunity you even had to even settle in whatever region is a plus. So how can you, what is the things that can be done for peaceful coexistence?
I say, Gowon wanted to reconcile Southeasterners, Igbos to the
you said country. That earlier, the RRR.
The 3 R's, understand me? And but some forces like Ibrahim Babangida, Motanda and Mohammed.
So that happened because of time. Now that we are here, what can be done? How can reconciliation be done? That
marginalization, that discrimination is still happening up to today. That's why other geopolitical zones have 6 states. Igbos have only 5. So if they want a peaceful reconciliation, they should give us 1 state.
You have members representing in the National Assembly who could bring this forward. I mean, bills
have brought that
everybody forward. And they can follow up with it, because when bills get the yay or nay answer, there's always the consideration of bringing it up again in the future. So how much
have brought that up over and over.
Oh, now they are your people. They are bringing it up. They are not there all by themselves anymore.
They have brought, those in National Assembly, this agitation has been on. Create 1 state in the southeast to make it 6 like the other ones. Understand me? But up to today, so
there are standards, right? You are aware there are standards.
They have not shown that willingness to accept Igbo people. So we have accepted our fate.
Who has not accepted willingness? Who has not been willing to accept the Igbo people?
Nigerian states.
So you're saying that they've asked for more states, they've met all the criteria, and the Nigerian state, which your representatives are a part of?
Do you know all the criteria for the state? 800,000 people. That go and read the constitution.
Beyond the people, I'm not going deep into that. Now I'm asking that all of the criteria have been met, and the Nigerian state, which you have members representing you in, refuse to grant.
They have refused to reconcile Igbos to Nigeria.
All right.
And until they do it, Nigeria will never move forward.
Your opinion, but it's quite interesting talking about
Nigeria will never move forward.
All right. It's interesting talking about this, but in all of this thing, I believe that Nnamdi Kanu's case should be looked into, and particularly the opinion of those that feel like there should be a political solution to this. We should be able to have peace across board, and that's the way to go forward. But we go on a quick break now. When we return, we'll come to talk about the House of Representatives' recent consideration for the bill proposing rotational presidency among Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones and how it was thrown out. Stay with us.
Everybody keep watching Voice.
Step into a world where stories unfolds, secrets unravel, and dreams come alive. Every story has a legacy. Every legacy holds the power to inspire. A unique interview series that celebrates the lives of Nigeria's elder statesmen and women through their remarkable journeys in the military, diplomacy, public service, academia, medicine, and beyond. Conversation that transcends generations, offering guidance to youth leaders, diplomats, technocrats, and future change makers. We unveil the wisdom, resilience, and achievements that shapes our nation and the world. Join us every Sunday on Voice of the People Television. Reminiscence, legacies that leads the way. Stories that lives on.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector,
Welcome back to the People's Voice on VOP TV, and it's time to talk about something else and more stories in the news. The House of Representatives recently considered a bill proposing a rotational presidency among Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones alongside a single 6-year term for the president and state governors. This bill aimed to ensure equal representation, reduce government spending, and grant financial autonomy to local governments. However, the bill was rejected by the House of Representatives after a second reading motion. Civil society organizations on their part have also faulted the proposal, arguing that it wouldn't resolve Nigeria's current challenges and might undermine accountability in governance. But now let's turn to Amechi's criticism of Tinubu's government. Amechi served as a minister under the same All Progressives Congress government led by the then President Muhammadu Buhari. And recently he said that he would have confronted Tinubu if he were still a governor, raising questions about his role and effectiveness during the Buhari administration. A lot of people are asking, you had the capacity to do so much as a minister for under the same party. What exactly did you do? But considering the economic challenges Nigeria faces today, it's worth asking the questions really, because what initiatives did Amechi champion as a minister? Yes, some will say infrastructure in the Ministry of Transportation, but for many others, that wasn't enough. I mean, if it was enough, Nigeria's transport would be seamless right now. And how did he address the country's economic issues during his tenure? Also, there's the question of what specific actions would Amechi have taken differently if he were supposed to be a minister under Tinubu's government? But let me come again to Mr. Anosike in the studio. How are you, Mr. Anosike?
Okay.
All right. I like the energy today. So let's talk about rotational presidency bill. What are your thoughts on the rejected bill proposing a rotational presidency among the geopolitical zones in Nigeria?
Well, for me, it shows that these people are not representing the masses. Before, I was talking about the marginalization of the Igbos, the discrimination. This rotational presidency should have, one, reduced the tension in the country. Understand? It will have reduced the or the tension in the country, again, it will have removed their money from politics. I want to start with the tension. Now, an instance, if we have 6 geopolitical zones as we speak. Now, let me say Northeast. If Northeast is to start it by, let me say, by 2027, a 6 years term, nobody from the Northwest, nobody from North Central, Southeast, Southwest will contest. Understand me? Everybody will wait quietly because my own time will come.
Oh, so all the political parties will make sure they field candidates from that region?
From that area.
Okay.
Understand me? Now, people from the Northwest will keep quiet. People from the Northeast, Southwest, South will keep quiet, waiting for their own time. Understand me? There will be no tension. Understand me? Then, how it will now reduce money that if it's the turn of the Northeast, nobody from Southeast, Southwest will want to contest.
But those that
because
contest...
it is not the turn of their own geopolitical zone.
But those that contest from that region might still have to spend money to win the hearts of people from other regions.
Or they must spend money. But we're now looking at one particular geopolitical zone. And they want to make sure that their best emerges, that they will bring out their best, because there's going to be competition. Understand? Every geopolitical zone will make sure that they bring their best.
Forward, yeah.
Understand me? This is our turn. Let us do all we can do, because we just have only 6 years. Understand me? Then it also gives hope to the other geopolitical zones.
After this person's tenure,
after this, maybe in the next 12 years, it will be our own turn.
But do you consider competence in this argument?
I say each geopolitical zone, once it's their turn, they will go in and make sure that their best emerges. Understand me?
Well, definition of best might be peculiar to people, depending on the perspective you're looking at it from.
Mind you, in politics, what we are talking about is the best among the worst. Sure. Understand me? Right. In politics, anywhere, angels, you cannot see angels on a ballot box. Understand me? You cannot see refined people on a ballot box. So what people are looking for, you know that you are not going to vote for the saint. A saint cannot be on a ballot box. So you are looking for the best among the worst.
But do you think it's a viable solution for Nigeria's governance challenges if this is implemented?
For me, I've told you that it will reduce tension in the country. It will also reduce money in politics.
But what about the governance challenges? Because, I mean, politics is different from governance. And a lot of times we see people actively play politics but are not as ready for governance. No,
these are two different issues. Winning an election and ruling are not
exactly. So the question is, do you think that if we go that way, it's going to solve Nigeria's governance challenges?
It will help. It will help because I say each geopolitical zone will make sure that their best emerges. Understand? And again, there's going to be competition. Maybe
their best evil.
Okay, now if it's the turn of Northeast and they constructed 4,000 kilometers of road, and because of the turn of the Northwest, they may want to do more than that of the Northeast. So competition has come. Understand me?
Right.
During our own time, we constructed 40,000 kilometers of road, while you people constructed only 2,500. What we need in this country is competition.
So when we do that, so for the 6 geopolitical zones, 6 years, that means it takes 36 years before it returns to your region.
Sure.
So you would hold whoever is representing you accountable because you know that it takes another lifetime for it to come back to you.
This is our opportunity. Do something now. Because we're not going to get this till the next 36 years.
Okay, you talked about governance being a totally different thing from politics, but How can Nigeria's governance structure be reformed to ensure more equitable representation and distribution of power, looking at the fact that this bill has been thrown out?
Everywhere in the world, what is reigning now is a small government ideology. Small government ideology. That is what is reigning everywhere in the world.
Can you educate us on what that means?
Now, that's this is what Oronsanya report should have done.
Okay.
To streamline government, cut wastages. Understand me? Cut wastages. When you have more money, you are bound to do more. Understand me? When the president of Argentina get into power, Argentina was in recession. When he came in, he reduced his cabinet by 50%. He sold their private jets. Understand me?
Yeah.
When John Mahama became the president of Ghana, he dissolved 7 ministries.
Yeah.
There are 7 ministers gone. Because
and collapsed their ministry.
Sure, he wants to run a small government. And that's what Donald Trump is doing with his, the Department of Government Efficiency. Understand me? Reducing the size of government. Now in Nigeria, we have 36 states. And the Constitution said one minister from each of the states. But Tinubu has 47 ministers. For what?
Maybe they are preparing for the other states that will be created. Other states that we're anticipating. So there's a future already. Tinubu is thinking ahead. But let's move on to Amechi's comments. Mr. Alosike, how do you respond to Amechi's criticism of Tinubu's government, given his own tenure as minister under APC, which a lot of people have said that the problem in this country started? Yes, it's been a long time coming, but things got bad under the last administration.
Amechi was Minister of Transportation for 8 years. Okay. And as a Minister of Transport, Amechi said that Nigeria don't deserve speed trains because cows are crossing the red lines, the rail lines. That Nigeria don't deserve speed trains because cows, not human beings. So Amechi values cows than human beings. Because why? He wants to favor Buhari, who is a cow owner. Understand me?
Is it about favoring him or was just being loyal to?
It's sycophancy.
So you call him a sycophant?
A sycophant.
Okay.
Understand? So speed trains is what other countries, Kenya is using it. South Africa is using it. Amechi prefers using locomotive trains that they were using in the 60s and 70s. Understand me? Because of what? Sycophancy. So today he's a bitter person. Because he had expected Buhari to hand over to him. Understand?
Hand over to him as what?
As president.
So he will have been the southern candidate?
Yes, when Buhari was going in 2023, it was on the turn of the South to produce president.
Yeah, but there was Yemi Osinbajo, there was Amechi. So why will he be so bitter if he was not the only southern president?
One Amechi and Lagos and Rivers financed the 2015 APC presidential race.
And he got to be a minister in return.
And he was made the Director General of Buhari's campaign in 2015.
And that's a lucrative one too.
2019, he was also given that same position. Understand me?
Even though he wasn't governor anymore.
No. That after 2015 now, we
yeah,
took
so
over.
Exactly. So in 2019, he still retained that position. It's a lucrative one, and he wasn't governor. So
what I'm
trying to say is that at least a little bit has been paid back to him.
They retained him as a minister. As a minister. So after doing all the sacrifices, understand, and now refusing speed train because of cow and not because of human beings, he expected Buhari to pay him back.
So enough has not been done to him for 8 years?
So So when he didn't get it, he turned bitter. Understand me? All the expectations were that, Buhari never wanted Tinubu. Understand? Buhari never wanted Tinubu.
So the headlines say.
So 2 hours, I have people at the APC primary. I was calling, knowing what is going on. 2 hours before Tinubu's name went on air, it was Amechi's name. Go and ask anybody who was there.
But at the end of the day, what we saw is
at the end of the day, Tinubu emerged. So this guy became angry. So since then, he has been nurturing his wounds. He has been sorrowing. Mind you, he had not been talking actively as an APC member because he's not happy with what happened there during the primaries.
So with your submission now, do you think that Amechi's comments reflects a genuine concern for Nigeria's development, or they are just politically motivated?
He is bitter. So, and once you are bitter, your sense of judgment is clouded.
Will you say the same for El-Rufai, Nasir El-Rufai?
El-Rufai is bitter too. El-Rufai was among those that went to UK to answer questions. Understand me?
Well, thank you so much, Mr.
So Nigerians complain when things are not benefiting them.
All right, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the People's Voice today. We hope to have more conversations around the state of the nation with you. And to our viewers, thank you so much for staying with us on People's Voice today. We had a thought-provoking discussion on the trial of Nnamdi Kanu, the position of the southeastern Nigeria, the rejected bill on rotational presidency, and Amechi's criticism of Tinubu's government. Until next time, stay informed, engaged, and let us continue to shape the narrative of our great nation, Nigeria. My name is Adefunke Chaisime, and I strongly believe in this project, Nigeria. Nigeria will be great again. Good afternoon.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. These are the things we are talking about when it comes to Nigeria and the way they've been managing the Southeast. And because we don't have leaders in the Southeast, we don't have leaders. I think the only leader I would have said, I would have beat my chest to say we have, is the Ohanaeze Igbo leader that just died, the one that just passed away. That man would have been a good advocate for the Igbos. He would have been somebody who would advocate for the concerns of the Igbo. Because I know to an extent he spoke and spoke loudly, but sadly he didn't last long. He didn't last long. So when you look at the whole thing, you find out that we don't have leaders in the Southeast. And that is why it's becoming very difficult for the Igbo to get attention. Upon all the cry of marginalization and all that the Igbos are going through, nobody cares. Nobody seems to care, Nobody seems to care. So guys, it's really, really so sad that we are here as a country. And I'm just wondering what this country is up to, I'm just wondering what this country is up to. Looking at the way things are going, you will know that honestly, there's a lot to be done. The Nigerian government does not even think about the marginalization of Igbo, And then we have leaders or elders who do not also care that their people are being marginalized. Can you imagine that all these things are happening? Our leaders don't care. It does not concern them. It does not concern them what a typical Igbo man is going through in this country. Nnamdi Kanu now being charged for terrorism and the rest of it. Honestly, it's really, really so sad that we are here as a country. I don't know when all these things is going to be a thing of the past. This country is not helping to mend fences so that Nigeria can stay united. They are there looking for charges to charge Nnamdi Kanu to kind of to jail him. That's what they are looking for. Evidence is to jail him. But I don't think that's what, if the Nigerian state understand, if the Tinubu's government know what they are doing, the best thing is to call Nnamdi Kanu to the round table, because the agitation is deserving. I mean, because you can see the marginalization for yourself, so you can't even blame him. You can't blame him. Honestly, you can't blame Nnamdi Kanu. The Igbos are really being marginalized, and I don't think any reasonable person wants to just keep watching and seeing all these things happening, honestly. So I don't know what you make of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others, and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you.